familiar face. I realised that I took your photo at the last Necrosonic. So I
Oh,
was pretty much, I'm basically Kent's now. I think he's actually got me on the books as their official photographer. I've done the last two.
yeah.
So yeah, when I was like Bean Flipper, because obviously I'm a huge fan of Australian grindcore, but I'm quite young by comparison. I was 10 in 95. So I'm of a different generation. We'll put it this way, and you're going to
Right.
appreciate this. My first ever indoor gig, I grew up in Tassie, and it was Blood Duster and Psychroptic at a tiny little venue in Launceston. And so I had just turned 18, and all of a sudden, Blood Duster are on stage, half naked and covered in fake blood. Yeah, they were touring the album of the C word's probably the only one we have to bleep out, but yeah, that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just going to shut this door.
Yeah, of course, mate. So where I'm going with that is that when I would look at all these early tours of bands that I'm into, like Blood Duster and Brutal Truth and stuff, I would always see the name Bean Flipper on a lot of all
Oh,
of these. So the name has always meant something to me, but it's only very recently, yeah, that I've been getting an education. So yeah,
well,
mate.
we're sort of stuck in the middle. We're sort of, to some degree, we're too metal for punk rock, and we're too punk rock for metal. Like,
Yeah, that's
I
what a
think we
great place to
confuse.
be.
We also seem to attract these sort of feral mountain men hillbilly types for some reason. I don't know why, but
But enough about Kent. Mate, what was
nicely played, nicely played.
ah, mate? Let's talk about Necro. So, was that the first? Because I know Kent likes to resurrect bands from the dead. How did Bean Flipper get back together? Was that Kent's doing?
Yeah, he basically he was looking for someone from BEANFLIPPER in at the end of not last year, the year before on Facebook, and someone tagged me because the rest of them are pretty much not on social media. And I just contacted him and said, "Yeah, what can I do for you?" And he said, "Well, if I gave you X amount of money, would you consider getting back together if I flew up here and gave you accommodation and gave you X amount?" And I was like, "Fuck, didn't expect that." And then I rang because people have asked over the years, and we've always gone, "Nah, not a fucking chance." You know what I mean? And then I put it round to I contacted everyone, and now everyone was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, maybe, yeah, okay, yeah, let's give it a go." And I was like, "My God, I did not think I'd be playing." There I was in my band. That's the other band that sort of sounds a bit like the Go-Betweens. It's like really the most chilled for a drummer. It's one of the easiest gigs out. I'm just
Yeah.
there to put it together. I don't have to drive it at least. I was like, man, I never thought I'd be playing this sort of music at 60, which is what I turned last year. D beat at 60, great. But it's, yeah, so he asked, and we were like, sure, why not? Let's go. I mean, we were nervous as, I mean, me and the guitarist that writes all the music got together originally, the two of us, for two rehearsals and just went through the set of the first album. We're actually pretty shocked because other than a couple we had to do twice, we pretty much got all from beginning to end through the whole set without actually having to stop and repeat.
Yeah.
So it was all in there. It was just shoved back down because it's been 20 years since we since we
That's a long
played
time out
drums.
of muscle memory. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was actually quite shocked. It's sort of, I mean, of course, Rocket had to sit there and learn the songs, but me being me on drums just went, oh, look, I'll give the CDs a couple of lessons and then just go along and play along. But it all sort of, I'd be playing bits and going, what comes next? And all of a sudden, a split second before the change, my body would go, oh, yeah, that's right. And I'd be like, God, it's amazing what you can remember.
Ah,
Well, I mean, I suppose there was 5 years of intense playing, so those songs are pretty much, I think, drilled in there to some degree anyway. So yeah, that was how it happened. it wasn't on my dance card, I tell you.
It's funny how you're like, God, playing this at 60. I've done two great interviews with the drummer from the Animals, as in House of the Rising Sun, all that,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
wild.
And he's in his 80s. And I was like, man, aren't you glad you're in the Animals and not in a death metal band?
I
Imagine trying to do blasts at 80.
Well, that's the thing that gets me about this sort of music too, is it's like you have to rehearse a lot, whereas the other band I'm in, like, we'll go months without rehearsing and then just rehearse two or three times and have a gig because it's not that intense. But
Yeah,
BEANFLIPPER requires fitness and stamina, so you have to do it all the time. So
yeah.
yeah, I get a bit freaked out if we miss a week sometimes. I'll be like, no, we can't miss a week. We have to have footy training this week as well. It's footy training every week.
Oh dear. It's funny, man. I was going over the album was which I can't recall, but it was the one from I think 95-ish. Um
Garden variety manic
that's the one.
depressant.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And yeah, it's interesting what you were saying about two metal for the punks, two punks for the metal. Like I would notice, obviously, we're used to these days, particularly being a grind fan, there's always that interplay in grindcore between, obviously the
Yeah.
heavy element and the punk element. But yeah, I noticed that you guys would go very far in a punk direction and then very far, like you guys went further than you didn't dip toes in. You were actually had a
Yeah,
proper footing.
it's really weird. I think a lot of it comes from the band formed in '93 at the height of the grungy. So it actually made me laugh when last year when we were doing the first album, how some of the songs are so grungy, and I was like,
Mm.
man, I remember this being so rock and roll and grunge, but oh well, there we go. It was in there.
Yeah.
There- even I could see because I remember Craig, the lead guitarist, he was quite into Pearl Jam back in the day, and there's this one song I think Fault to me reminds me of a Pearl Jam song, just that bounce that the '90s was full of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think from the start we've sort of always wanted to be heavy, but we're not that particular on the genre of heavy to be some degree. You know what I mean? We just do what we do and have fun with it.
It's funny you mentioned Pearl Jam. So I was raised largely on my older brother's records that my
Yeah,
older brother was
yeah,
bringing home. And of course, 10 in 95. So this was all grunge explosion and all
yeah.
that kind of stuff. And it's funny that you mentioned Pearl Jam because obviously I am into music that is far heavier these days, but Pearl Jam's Go, the opening of that has this one. That was the first time I'd heard all of this guitar distortion and stuff. And I remember thinking, ooh, I like that. It's
Yeah. I mean, I've got to admit, I'm not a big Pearl Jam fan, but is Go the one that starts off with the drums on their
yes,
own?
and it's a do
Yeah,
do
yeah,
do 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 do
yeah,
do,
that's
and
about
big
that's
long
my
instrumental.
favorite. Yeah, that's probably my favorite Pearl Jam song
Yeah.
of all of them because it's got a bit of oomph to it. I didn't really like that why oh shit he used to do so much, but
Oh,
people
Eddie is,
like.
bless him, the most easily imitable singer ever. You just got to get the vowels. It's all vowels.
I know. I mean, I do have a great deal of respect for him when he went on what's it called that show Portlandia, and he
Mhm.
goes out with Carrie and he has a tattoo of himself on his arm and it starts talking to her. Oh, which was quite,
Awesome.
I thought that was quite funny.
Uh, Mate, you are heading up here to play the Dead of Winter Festival.
Yeah.
How much do you know about it? And what have your past experiences with Brisbane been like? And if it looks like I was just having a pull while I was talking to you, I promise I'm not. I am dealing with the golden retriever that has
Oh,
just
hello, Pooch.
shutting down. So if you saw a furious arm motion, trust me, it's not your fault.
um, what do I know? I don't look. To be honest, I don't really know a great deal about it. I've done a little bit of research, but not much. I mean, it's really weird. I've actually grew up in Brisbane and I
Mhm.
moved to Melbourne when I was 84, so 19. So I find it quite fun just coming back to Brisbane just to play gigs because it's just like
Yeah.
I've had nothing to do. I mean, seriously, over the last, what is it, 1984, I moved here. So I've probably only been back to Brisbane less than that many times since I've ever left. Like, as soon
Yeah.
as my parents left Brisbane and went back to the UK, I was like, well, not much reason to go there anymore. So, I mean, I know of bands and stuff up there, and I know the scene. I've always found Brisbane music actually quite interesting because it was all. I mean, originally it was because of the whole Joe Bioki Peterson
Mm.
dictator state, but Queensland music's always had a great quirkiness to it. I find I
Hmm.
quite like how a bit like Perth as well. It's because you're on the extremes. You're not. There's not that. I don't think there's that Melbourne cool that people in Melbourne are, quite, oh, you can't do that. That's not cool to some degree. Whereas Brisbane, because of the weather, I reckon the lifestyle, heaps of shit seems to go past. You seem to have bands that do quirky things and do really interesting shit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So I guess $1 million question. How would you rate the likelihood of us ever hearing new Bean Flipper material?
Uh Pretty likely. We've already rehearsed up one new song and I know I've been taught I think two others, and there's talk of recording an album. Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes. Though
Oh,
I'm thinking about I'm becoming a grumpy bum and I'm gonna after November, I think I might say, can we have a bit of a break? Because me and the rhythm guitarist Rocket, who writes the music, and your lead guitarist, he's moved to bass, and we've got this stoner metal band happening at the moment with Egg from Dreadnought or
hmm.
Greg from Dreadnought.
Ah, yes, yes. I know
Yes,
Greg very
so
well.
I wouldn't mind concentrating on that, and then whilst that's being thing, maybe do a few rehearsals or being able just to learn some new stuff and get off the gigging thing until late next year. Because
Yeah.
I've got to say, musicians don't get any more functional as they get older.
Just
And
as disorganized as you were in your 20s, but with the back problems
I think you just have a greater tolerance for dysfunction in your
now.
20s, and as you get older, you go, what? Can we just
Well, mate, we let's talk about the scene in Melbourne. And just what was it like in the 80s and 90s? Because obviously I hear stories of all these raging gigs at the Pose and all this, but I only lived in Melbourne for 3 years from like about 2011 till you know
Oh yeah, yeah,
about
right.
that. So yeah, 90s Melbourne, I wouldn't have a clue. So fill
Oh,
me in, bro.
90s
What was it
Melbourne was
like?
great. I mean, I moved down here in the 80s and was predominantly involved in the punk scene. And I mean, I think it was like that worldwide in the 80s. It was a little bit, you'd go to a gig and you wouldn't know whether you were going to get your head punched in or not because there'd always be that argy-bargy, especially with skinheads and whatnot. And I
Mm,
actually enjoyed the 90s. When we rolled into the 90s, we all lived in Richmond. And it was the GB was such a scene. Like you'd see everyone there, Blood Duster, Christ Bay. We used to play there, Damaged.
mm,
And it was like to some degree you didn't even leave Richmond all the time because there was such, you'd very rarely ventured south to St Kilda, and occasionally you'd play gigs at say the Evelyn or the Punters Club, but it was pretty much Fitzroy and Richmond, heaps of cool metal crossover. I mean, I think
mm,
the thing about the metal bands from Melbourne too at that era of like, there's a certain me and our old bass player used to say that a lot of Melbourne metal bands seem to have a slight sense of humour that you don't find elsewhere. Like they're not as serious. Like there's some sort of. I mean, I love Bloodduster purely for their antics. Like
yeah.
some of the
I was about to say Melbourne is the city that has produced not just King Blood Duster and also King Parrot. So
yeah, 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 I know, and I just love the love that. Yeah, I mean that is funny, but having watched King Parrot videos, I go, man, that is so Melbourne. Like their approach to metal is so Melbourne. Like the personas, like it's
Oh,
not taking yourself ridiculously serious. Just get on stage and grind it, basically.
yeah.
But
And
I've say,
filming an entire music video in AC/DC Lane. Like, it's possibly the most aggressively Melbourne thing ever.
oh, the parking ticket one makes me laugh so much. The juxtaposition with Slat's voice and the black metal maker
Oh,
gets
that.
me every time. It's
And
one of the best
apparently it
music
was,
videos ever made, I reckon.
yeah, 100%. And apparently the corpse paint was Australian colors. It was gold and it was green and gold.
Ah,
So when he looked black metal as hell, he was. I wish I could find a full color photo of Youngie.
that's
Apparently, he
fucking
looked the
great.
most patriotic bloke ever.
Oh, I wish Australia would get off that colour scheme. It's the most shit colour scheme known to mankind, green and gold. I reckon. I hate to say it, but Jesus,
uh, Back when I used
piss
to be in
and
the army, I
poo.
threatened Youngie that one day I was going to get my shirt off outfield and just cam myself up and do that. But it never happened.
uh,
Oh dear.
yeah,
Matty, this has been rad, mate. Thank you very much for your time, mate. I'm
that's all
really,
right.
I do bet. Necrosonic, I was moving so fast taking photos that I barely even had time
Oh, I can
to absorb a
imagine.
song.
That
Whereas
was,
this time I'm going to be able to
we
actually
rock.
watch.
So we played a birthday party, and that Necrosonic was our first gig back, and we played
Yeah.
this birthday party a month out. And when we got to them, is it the Mansfield
Yep.
Tavern?
Hmm.
Looked in that, one of them went inside and took a photo of the room and came back and goes, check this out, Matty, this will make you feel good. And I looked at it and it's just massive people. I'm just going, fuck.
Yeah.
It
Ken
was
can
like,
pull a crowd, dude.
oh shit, yeah, I was shocked at how many people were there, and I was like, man, okay, it's look like a dick or get on with the job, I suppose. Look
Yeah, man, the Necrosonic line, because he's managed to put lineups together that has that, oh, wicked, I want to see this band, but also, holy shit, you got them back? Like and he's done it
I know.
twice.
He's very good at it. He seems to be able to travel around Australia and regenerate these
Yeah,
bands. Wouldn't it? He's
I
going, oh
know.
yeah,
Fucking necromancer.
yeah, I know.
Oh, mate.
Exactly.
Awesome. Dude,
Alrighty.
yeah, keen to
Sorry
see
if
you on
I'm a
Bring the
bit
Gun.
weird because I had all this dental work done the last couple of days and I'm on the good old Panadeine 4. Well, I haven't had any today, but last night I was like,
Well,
I
man.
thought I better like, I'm glad there's no pain today because I was like, if I have a painkiller, I'm just going to be here going, not it. I'll tell you though, when they put an implant in, last time I did it, I was unconscious. Now I know what a brick feels like when you use a masonry bit in it. Like none of this, it was like, and
Uh-huh. It's
you're
not
going,
fun.
I know. I was having to do some hardcore disassociation. I was just lying there going, it's not happening. It's not happening. Don't think about it.
Oh, mate. I love it.
Any further and you're going to be up in my brain.